यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि बोलो। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते कृतदासधिकारीति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we welcome you all again this morning. Thank you for joining. So today our verse is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2 and verse number 22. And the name of the chapter is Remembrance of Lord Krishna. Tattasya kaiṅkaryam alaṁ bhṛtāno viglāpayaty aṅga yad ugrasenam tiṣṭhan niṣaṇṇaṁ parameṣṭhi-dhiṣṇye nyabodhayad deva nidhārayeti tattasya kaiṅkaryam alaṁ bhṛtāno viglāpayaty aṅga yad ugrasenam tiṣṭhan niṣaṇṇaṁ parameṣṭhi-dhiṣṇye nyabodhayad deva nidhārayeti tattasya kaiṅkaryam alaṁ bhṛtāno viglāpayaty aṅga yad ugrasenam tiṣṭhan niṣaṇṇaṁ parameṣṭhi-dhiṣṇye nyabodhayad deva nidhārayeti. Devotees can recite.
tasya kaiṅkaryam alaṁ viglāpayaty yad ugrasenam tiṣṭhan niṣaṇṇaṁ parameṣṭhi-dhiṣṇye nyabodhayad deva nidhārayeti.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Please respect my humble obeisances.
tasya kaiṅkaryam alaṁ viglāpayaty aṅga ugrasenam tiṣṭhan niṣaṇṇaṁ parameṣṭhi-dhiṣṇye nyabodhayad deva nidhārayeti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else would like to recite?
tasya kaiṅkaryam alaṁ bhṛtān viglāpayaty aṅga ugrasenam tiṣṭhan niṣaṇṇaṁ parameṣṭhi-dhiṣṇye nyabodhayad deva nidhārayeti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shin Prabhu. Anyone else? Okay. Go to word meanings. Tat, therefore, tasya, his, kaiṅkaryam, service, alaṁ, of course, bhṛtān, the servitors, naha, us, viglāpayaty, gives pain, aṅga, O Vidura, yat, as much as, ugrasenam, unto King Ugrasena, tiṣṭhan, being seated, niṣaṇṇaṁ, waiting upon him, parameṣṭhi-dhiṣṇye, on the royal throne, nyabodhayad, submitted, deva, addressing my lord, nidhāraya, please know it, iti, thus. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Therefore, O Vidura, does it not pain us, his servitors, when we remember that he, Lord Krishna, used to stand before King Ugrasena, who was sitting on the royal throne, and used to submit explanations before him, saying, O my Lord, please let it be known to you. Purport. Lord Krishna's gentle behavior before his so-called superiors, such as his father, grandfather, and elder brother, his amiable behavior with his so-called wives, friends, and contemporaries, his behavior as a child before his mother Yashoda, and his naughty dealings with his young girlfriends cannot bewilder a pure devotee like Uddhava. Others who are not devotees are bewildered by such behavior of the Lord, who acted just like a human being. This bewilderment is explained by the Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita 9.11 as follows. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanum ashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Persons with a poor fund of knowledge belittle the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, not knowing his exalted position as the Lord of everything. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has explained his clear position. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has explained his position clearly, but the demoniac atheistic student squeezes out an interpretation to suit his own purpose and misleads unfortunate followers into the same mentality. Such unfortunate persons merely pick up some slogans from the great book of knowledge, but are unable to estimate the Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pure devotees like Uddhava, however, are never misled by such atheistic opportunists. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, in this verse, if we see, and we will discuss more, the core message that comes out is how the Supreme Master, Shri Krishna, he serves his servants. And this chapter, the name of the chapter as we heard is the remembrance of Lord Krishna. And we are seeing in the previous verses also how Uddhav Maharaj is remembering various aspects, various qualities and pastimes of Shri Krishna. One important thing we should note here, or we can note here, is that Uddhav Maharaj is remembering and sharing about Krishna in response to the questions that are being asked by Vidura Maharaj in the previous chapter. So this indicates that to hear Krishna Katha, or to hear about Krishna from pure devotees, and to experience to the ecstasies that they experience, because they are always in Krishna consciousness, what we need to do? We need to ask questions. We need to present ourselves in front of such pure devotees in the submissive and some inquisitiveness, right? That we really want to hear something about Krishna. And then the ecstasies will come out of such devotees. So this is very important, that we, just like we were discussing yesterday also, we become active listeners. So beautiful sharing by Uddhav Maharaj. So in this verse, Uddhav Maharaj is speaking to Vidura Maharaj, and the context is, or the background is, that Shri Krishna has completed his earthly pastimes, and Uddhav Maharaj is very anxious, or he is experiencing this mood of separation. So Uddhav Maharaj could have remembered so many pastimes of, or so many activities of Krishna, like he lifted the Govardhan Parvat, he killed the great demon Kansa, he also revealed his universal form to Arjuna. But what Uddhav Maharaj is remembering here? He is remembering that how Krishna used to stand in front of Maharaj Ugrasena with folded hands, just like reporting like a junior minister. Why? Because when Krishna killed Kansa, not that he presented himself as the king of Mathura. What he did, he ran to his parents, Maharaj Vasudev, Mother Devaki. He went to Maharaj Ugrasena, his grandfather, who were in the prison, imprisoned by Kansa. He released them, and he presented, and he actually enthroned Maharaj Ugrasena, his grandfather, as the king of Mathura. Now who is, and then he himself become like a junior servant or junior minister in his assembly. Now just imagine that scene. Just try to get more into this particular pastime. That Maharaj Ugrasena, the king of Ugrasena, is sitting on the elevated royal throne of Mathura. Parameṣṭhi-dhiṣṇye. That's the word comes in this verse. And Lord Shri Krishna, who is Lord Shri Krishna? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. By the ansh of whose, like meaning by his the expansion of his expansion as Mahavishnu, when he just take one breath, millions of universes are created and destroyed. That Lord Shri Krishna is standing in front of Maharaj Ugrasena. So, and Krishna used to go down to Maharaj Ugrasena, and what he used to request? "O my king, please take note." The word that comes in this verse is nidhārayeti, please take note of all the administrative report that I am going to give to you now. So he used to report to Maharaj Ugrasena. Now, Uddhav Maharaj is telling Vidur Maharaj that remembering, because Uddhav Maharaj was also minister in Mathura and also in Dwarka, and he used to see all these activities of Krishna live, being there. So he's sharing with Vidur Maharaj that it is melting my heart remembering such pastimes, such activities of Krishna, such humility of Krishna. It breaks my heart with pain, sweet pain, and we'll see why. So we think about Krishna's opulence and his sweetness. There are two aspects, right? One is Aishwarya, opulence, and Madhurya, sweetness. So in the Aishwarya, in the opulence mood, Krishna creates universes. He commands all the demigods who are the controllers of the universe. He shows his universal form to devotees. So there's such big activities Krishna is doing that of course nobody can even think about performing. But on the other side, the Madhurya, the sweetness aspect of Krishna. What he does? He is stealing butter in Vrindavan. He obeys the commands of Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, his Gop Sakhas. And in this verse we see how he is standing before Maharaj Ugrasena. That is all out of his sweet will, sweetness. So such varied aspects of Krishna's pastimes and his activities. Because as a real position, he is he possesses all the opulence that one can think of, and he has all the opulences at the same time. But what he likes to do when he appears on earth, that he wants to interact with his devotees. He wants to perform these sweet pastimes. He wants to serve his devotees. Ravan antakara makhan taskara gopi jana vastrahari brajera rakhala gopa vrindapala chitta hari vanshidhari Yashodanandana Kansaneshodhana Nikunjarasa Vilasi Kadamba Kanana Rasaparayana Vrindavipena Nivashi. On one hand, Krishna in his various incarnations, he kills big demons like Ravan, Hiranyakashipu. On the other hand, he performs such sweet pastimes, very intimate pastimes of stealing butter, makhana taskara, or stealing the clothes of gopis. He takes care of his associates in Vrindavan. So, very varied, we can say, personality Krishna has. Activities, and it could be bewildering to many people. Such a person who controls the millions of universes, the whole creation, he is just performing these pastimes like a normal human being. So, but why if this pastime is so sweet and Krishna does it out of his will, then why is it giving pain to Krishna's servants like Uddhav Maharaj? Because a loving servant cannot see his master being in the subordinate position. So it is the love of the servant. And this is the secret of Vaishnava philosophy. Krishna loves to be controlled by the love of his devotees. And devotees want to get controlled by Krishna. So it's a competition there. So to understand better why Krishna takes such subordinate position before devotees like King Ugrasena, we can also understand it from the verse that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. Gopi bhṛtān pad kamalayor das dasanudasa. And it's a whole verse. The meaning is that as our true positions, we are neither Kshatriya, nor Brahmana, nor Vaishya, nor Shudra, nor Brahmachari, nor a Grihastha. We are actually none of these. Our only identity is the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. That is our true identity. So when Krishna appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is showing by his own example that he appeared as a devotee of Krishna. So he is giving us the highest mood that even Krishna likes to express himself as the servant of the devotees of Krishna. And in the material world, we know the higher up we go, the more respect, the more successful one becomes. But in the spiritual world, it is completely opposite. The lower the position we attain or we aspire for, to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the devotees of the Lord, that is our success. That is our real position. So Krishna also, when he appears here, he competes to become devotee servant. And actually the philosophy is, when we try to become master, we are also Ishvara in our own pockets, right? We are small Ishvaras. But when we try to become Ishvaras, the controllers, Krishna actually hides his presence in front of us. But when we carry the title of the servants of the Krishna servants, Gopir bhṛtān pad kamalayor dasa dasanudasa, Krishna's heart melt for his devotees. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, yad acharati shreshtha. What great man does, common man will follow. Whatever standards are set by the great people, the rest of the world, they pursue that, right? So Krishna is, as a great personality, he is also showing what we should be, how our mood should be towards his devotees. So there are few pastimes that we can discuss to understand this mood of Shri Krishna better. So when Krishna killed this cruel Kansa, actually the Mathura was ready to crown Krishna as the king, right? Because he killed this cruel king of Mathura. And everybody in Mathura was chanting, Shri Krishna ki jai, Krishna ki jai. So Krishna could have easily taken up that position. He was the favorite. But what he did? He ran to his grandfather Ugrasena and actually personally enthroned him, the whole kingdom of Mathura. And actually he says to his grandfather that as long as you are present, we are your subjects. So command me. Please let me know what I can do. How can I serve you? And this was not a fake humility, right? That is his natural madhurya bhav, his sweet inclination to serve those who love him. So devotees who love him, Krishna want to serve them. Now, people who are not devotees or who are logical, they might think, oh, Ugrasen was his grandfather, and he was a king, so Krishna wanted to serve him out of that relationship. That was his mood, because Ugrasen is his grandfather anyway. But we can also see some pastimes where Sri Radha Krishna, they actually serve their devotees. And that devotee could be king, he could be beggar, he could be very humble, he could possess nothing. So there are so many pastimes we can discuss. It is not that because Ugrasen was king and his grandfather, Krishna had to serve him. So to see a couple of more pastimes, if everyone is listening attentively, we'll go to, from Mathura now we'll go to Radhakund. So just imagine as I try to narrate this pastime, beautiful pastime. And the context here is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has departed from this planet after performing his pastimes. So now we go from Mathura to Radhakund. What's happening there? So I would like to share so that everyone, we can try to meditate better. Let me share my screen. Hopefully everyone can see. So we'll go to Radhakund. What's going on here is, so after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed from this world, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis, who was actually serving in Jagannath Puri as the servant or as the assistant to Sri Sarup Damodar. So after Mahaprabhu departed, he came to reside at Radhakund for the rest of his life. And in those days, there was this this land, this near Radhakund, Govardhan. It was a wild, dense forest. There were no houses. It was very like a very, very dense forest. And here Raghunath Das Goswami came, and he used to sit on the ground and he used to perform his sadhana. He used to be absorbed in his japa, in his chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra almost all day, and used to remember Radha Krishna. So I will read something from Bhakti Ratnakar. It's a beautiful pastime narrated by Shri Narhari Chakravarti. एक दिना सनातन वृंदावन होइते, एथ ऐला श्री गोपाल भट्टेर वसाते, मानस पावन घटे कोलिलेन स्नान देखे, एक व्याघ्र जल पिए से खाने, रघुनाथ ध्यान वेश आछे बोसिया, व्याघ्र वने गेला तारे निकट होइया. So we can see in this picture, one day Srila Sanatana Goswami, he came to Radhakund. He came from Vrindavan to Radhakund. And when he came to the bathing place, there is a pond near Radha Krishna, which is Radhakund, with the name Manas Pavan Ghat. So he saw a large wild tiger. He was drinking water, and he also saw Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was sitting doing his japa, and tiger was very, very close to him, just maybe few feet away. But Srila Raghunath Goswami was so absorbed, he had no consciousness of the surroundings. He was totally immersed in his japa. So he was totally lost. And Srila Sanatana Goswami was watching this scene with a lot of anxiety now. He got concerned about the safety of Srila Raghunath Goswami. Suddenly, a divine vision unfolded. What happened? Lord Krishna himself appeared. And Lord Krishna was holding a stick so that to scare, the tiger. And he was guarding Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, standing there. Think about it. And Raghunath Das Goswami still was completely absorbed. He has no idea what's going on. And Krishna stood there until the tiger finished drinking and he walked back into the forest. And then Krishna also saw Srila Sanatana Goswami watching all this from the distance, and he smiled at Sanatana Goswami and disappeared. Then after some time, when Raghunath Goswami opened his eyes, Kotokshana Raghunatha chahe chari pane, dekhe na Shri Sanatana aise na snane, bhume te podiya sanatane paramiya, sanatana snehe vashe alingana koila. After a while, after some time, Raghunath Goswami came out of his meditation, and he looked around in all the directions, and what he sees, that Srila Sanatana Goswami had also come there for the bath. So Srila Sanatana Goswami was senior to him. He offered his obeisances, and Srila Sanatana Goswami embraced him lovingly. And Sanatana Goswami, after seeing all this divine pastime, activity of Krishna, how he was guarding Raghunath Das Goswami, affectionately he says to Raghunath Das Goswami that you were chanting the name of Radha and Krishna. And why we chant? Why devotees chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra? To ask Radharani to give the service of Krishna. But although you were praying with complete selflessness, Krishna himself came down to protect you, to serve you. And Raghunath Das Goswami was like, what are you talking about? I have no idea. I was just sitting here and chanting. So then Srila Sanatana Goswami explained what happened to him. How he was, when he was absorbed in this chanting, how Shri Krishna personally appeared and guarded with a stick to protect him from the tiger. And when Srila Raghunath Das Goswami heard that, he was feeling very awkward, he was filled with humility. And he was in ecstasy, feeling the unlimited mercy of Shri Krishna. So the point here is, Krishna appears, Krishna personally takes care of his devotees by serving them. Then in continuation, after few days, Sri Sanatana Goswami comes back again to Radhakund. Now it was the summer time, when Vrindavan is very, very hot, especially that area around Govardhan, Radhakund. Again, Raghunath Das Goswami was sitting and he was chanting in the scorching heat that summer day. He was completely absorbed in his chanting. And it was such a hot day that everybody else was just was not able to tolerate, but Raghunath Das Goswami had no consciousness of the outside world. Now this time, what happens? Sanatana Goswami is watching Raghunath Das Goswami being absorbed in his chanting in this scorching heat, and Srila Sanatana Goswami again saw this divine vision when Srimati Radharani herself appeared. And she was standing beside Raghunath Das Goswami, and she was covering her head with the corner of her sari. And when the time of sunset came, she just smiled at Sanatana Goswami and disappeared. Now this was little too much for Sanatana Goswami. Now again he came to, when Raghunath Das Goswami came out of his meditation, of his japa, then he had a conversation now with Raghunath Das Goswami. See how a spiritual master, an acharya, how their mood is. So, until now, Raghunath Das Goswami didn't want to create any hut or build any hut, and he just used to live in the open ground. But now, Sanatana Goswami, after seeing these two divine visions, what he said to Raghunath Das Goswami? Raghunatha prati snehe kohe dhire dhire vrikstala huite ebe rohibe kutire janiya vishesha goswami kela snane kutirer arambho hoile sei dine anya hita hetu Raghunatha sei hoite rahilena kutire gosai agyamate. Very gently and affectionately, Sanatana Goswami says to Raghunath Goswami that now you leave, you stop performing your bhajan in the open ground. Why? Because when you are performing your bhajan, your sadhana, and you are oblivious, you are not even concerned, or you are not even conscious of anything happening around you, tiger coming or scorching heat, Krishna and Radha had to come personally to serve you, to protect you. But as devotees of Radha Krishna, our desire is to serve Radha Krishna, not get serviced by them. Right? So you stop doing this, and you now build a hut, kutir, and understanding the instruction of Srila Sanatana Goswami, as he was his senior. Not that, oh no, Radha Krishna is coming to me to protect me, I'm a great devotee, I will continue what I do, they come to serve me. No, he humbly accepted the instruction of Srila Sanatana Goswami and built a kutir for himself, a hut for himself. And from then onwards, all the devotees who were there in that area, that tradition of doing bhajan in the hut, small huts, started actually that time. So we can see how Krishna, Radha, they come and protect and serve their real devotees, their pure devotees. So this mood of service is inherent in this Krishna conscious movement, in this Krishna conscious path. We see when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did Gundicha Marjan just before the Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra. Not that he started ordering everybody, hey Sarup Damodar, hey Sanatana Goswami, you go and collect devotees and start cleaning. I will just sit here and watch and supervise. No, he himself took out his upper clothes, he gathered all the dust and he cleaned just like any other devotees there. In fact, when we hear this Gundicha Marjan pastime, we see that pile of dust that Mahaprabhu used to accumulate, it used to be multi times bigger than other devotees, because he used to clean each and every corner very, very lovingly. And after cleaning, Mahaprabhu used to personally feed all the devotees, and he used to eat after everyone is fed. So again the point is, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he served his devotees. We see in the life of our Srila Prabhupada, when he came to America, how he started in the small storefront of 26th Avenue. A 70-year topmost devotee of the Lord, his scholar, knew all the scriptures, a pure Vaishnava. He used to cook for everybody who used to come to hear from him. And he used to just not cook, he used to feed them personally. He used to wash all the utensils after feeding them personally. So one day, Hayagri Prabhu, he saw Prabhupada emptying the dustbins, cleaning all the utensils. He was shocked because others used to just eat and go away. He said, when Hayagri Prabhu saw that for the first time, after many days of after this was going on for many days, oh Prabhupada, you should not be carrying this garbage. You should not be cleaning. Let me do it. So Prabhupada used to smile and say, in Krishna's service, no service is higher law. Cleaning the floor for Krishna as good as worshipping Krishna on the altar. Wonderful lesson, right? So we see in the pastimes of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the activities of pure devotees, serving other devotees is their desire. I mean, I have personally heard from my spiritual master and many spiritual masters in ISKCON saying that, okay, you have accepted me as your guru, but actually I am your servant. And if we see that, what can we do for our spiritual master, for Srila Prabhupada? What are we able to do? Actually, they have been doing more and much more for us. Just thinking about their activities. So, service is the bottom line, the mode of service. So, these were the few points I wanted to cover. And also, how to understand these sweet pastimes of Krishna, because like Srila Prabhupada mentions in this purport, avajananti mama buddha manushim tanum ashritam, people who are not intelligent, they mention Krishna as maybe some historical personality, some king, and they also even mention him as he was afraid of Jarasandh, so he wanted to do political alliances. So that's why he bowed down to Ugrasena or other kings. He served them. So this is how a materialistic or ethics person thinks. And Mayavadi, how they think? They think that actually the Supreme Personality, Supreme God is impersonal. He assumes this human form like Krishna, Ram or other forms temporarily, and because they appear in human body, they are also subjected to all the modes of material nature, all the rules of the society. No, Krishna does it, Lord Ram does it out of their sweet will, not because they are subject to any rules of this material world. And Uddhav Maharaj is actually breaking all these misconceptions. What he is saying? That only a pure devotee can understand Krishna's humility. It is his supreme sweetness. And how we as a small person like me, who are trying to be a devotee, can understand? Through a pure devotee. When we hear these pastimes of Krishna through our spiritual masters, through our acharyas, through Srila Prabhupada, we have to see and hear, study from their angle to understand these pastimes. Because logical people can give strong logic to prove their point. But this is a path of devotion, faith. So when our spiritual master, when we hear from them, then we can understand these sweet pastimes of Krishna. That's why in Guru Ashtakam, that Prakshit Prabhu sang beautifully on last Sunday when we were celebrating the memorial for Guru Maharaj. Shri Radhika Madhavayorapara Madhurya Leela Gunarupa Nam Pratikshana Swa Danlalupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Our spiritual master, he is relishing this sweetness all the time. That is getting expressed through their activities also. They can teach us how to experience the same sweetness. And the process again is, steps are, we have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly from pure souls, like Srila Prabhupada. We have to follow the instructions given by Srila Prabhupada. The topmost of them is regular chanting. Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana. Chanting and Sankirtan. See, when we hear this beautiful prayer by Narottam Das Thakur, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtan, we hear it so many times. What does it mean? That even the residents of the spiritual world, Goloka, that this Naam, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra has come from them there. So even they are chanting there, including Radharani. So we have to chant, we have to perform this Sankirtan, and we have to avoid offenses. Very, very important. And then we have to try to make sweet relationship with Radha Krishna, with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and their devotees. And how can we make this sweet relationship with Lord? Through deity worship, by supporting deity worship, by performing deity worship. And how can we have sweet relationship with devotees? By serving devotees in the right mood. So I think that was a takeaway for me. I wanted to share. And Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If anyone has any questions, and a lot of senior devotees are here on the call, I will request them to please add or correct anything I might have misspoken. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for giving a very nice class. And the bhajans that you sang in between made it even sweeter. Dear devotees, this is the time to unmute yourself. If you have any questions, if you have any takeaways, if you have any like that, things that really impressed you or had an impact on your consciousness, and you would like to share it, please do that. Hare Krishna, Vishnu Prabhu, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please go ahead.
And Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Please
in the verse, and it talks about Uddhava was feeling pain because of Lord Krishna is appearing before Ugrasena. And in your comments, you said it was painful for him to see Krishna taking the subordinate position to Ugrasena. In other circumstances, for example, when Lord Chaitanya went to the temple of Sri Rangam, there was a Brahmin there who was illiterate, and he was told by his spiritual master that he had to recite the Bhagavad Gita every day. But he couldn't do it. He just tried his best. And then Lord Chaitanya said, well, why are you crying? Because everybody was making fun of him. But he said, well, I see this picture on the front or in somewhere in that of Krishna taking the chariot of Arjuna, driving the chariot, and he was feeling ecstatic because of the position of Krishna taking a subordinate position to his devotee. And one could make the argument that it's, that's part, as you were saying, part of the loving exchange between Krishna and his devotees. So could you explain a little further what might be contributing to the pain of Uddhava in this circumstance?
Sure, bro, I will try. So, Uddhava, because he is situated in a master-servant relationship with Krishna, for him it was not easy thinking that his master is in the subordinate position. Just like when you mentioned a scenario when Krishna accepted the position of a charioteer of Arjuna. So that was also that Brahman. He was just overwhelmed, seeing that how merciful Krishna could be. That he is serving his devotees, and doesn't matter what the world will say. And the position of charioteer, as we know, is not a very glorious position. Person as a king who is on the chariot or the warrior, he actually had to indicate by putting his leg on the shoulder of the charioteer to indicate which direction he should take the chariot to. So in my understanding, that those were the feelings that Brahman had, feeling overwhelmed with how lowest position Krishna can go to serve his devotees. And I think the same kind of emotions Uddhav Maharaj was feeling. That is my understanding. Would you like to add something more to that?
So you're saying that Uddhava was in a position in the rasa of servant, therefore it was painful. So then from that we might extrapolate that the person who was reading Bhagavad Gita didn't have the position of servant?
No, I'm trying to explain that I don't know what rasa that Brahmin was, but from the Uddhav.
Well, if according to that logic, if he had the rasa of servant, then it would have been disturbing to him, according to your logic, no?
Yeah, I mean, that servant position is anyway our true position, no matter what rasa we are in. So that is my understanding, Prabhu.
Okay.
Please add more to that to give us some more insight.
I mean, it might be. Srila Prabhupada doesn't explain it or elucidate it in the purport. So it's a little difficult, but it might be mixed with his already feeling pain, just to remember pain, because he's remembering how sweet Lord Krishna is that he's taking that position, as opposed to that it's just, that he is taking that position at all because he shouldn't take that position. It's a little fine distinction, perhaps. I can't say that for sure because I don't know, and I'm not at the position to. But anyway, you get the point. It could be.
Yes.
Yeah. So a little.
Yeah.
And another question. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to that point, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada also says that Uddhav Maharaj, being a pure devotee, he is not bewildered by such activities. So that is also difficult to,
Yeah.
But at the same time, he is feeling those emotions. So you're right; it's a little difficult to analyze.
And then
Yeah.
we saw the pastime you talked about Raghunath Das Goswami and not protecting himself or taking precautions from the tiger and from the sun. On the other hand, devotees are encouraged to do austerities for Lord Krishna in the realm of devotional service. So how do you know which is a proper austerity, and how do you know what is a little going? Apparently, Raghunath Das Goswami wasn't taking enough care of his physical safety, so therefore Radha and Krishna intervened. So how would one know if one does some kind of austerity, whether it's pleasing to Krishna? That might be a
Wonderful point, Prabhu. So to keep it simple, my understanding is anything we do in our Krishna conscious life, we should discuss with our spiritual master, our mentor, or whoever we listen to as a senior devotee, and we should take guidance. We should not pick up any austerity or again, I'm not comparing ourselves or myself to, of course, the Goswamis. That was for the education purpose, but as a sadhaka, I should be not choosing or picking up anything out of my own speculation. So I've always heard that no matter even the charity we should do under guidance. All the austerity we should do under guidance. That way we can be protected in that way. Hare Krishna.
Any examples you might have of a devotee, or ISKCON devotee, or others who might be performing some kind of austerity and they're corrected?
Yeah, the famous example that comes to me is like how Srila Prabhupada, when he once saw, I forgot which temple, but he saw that on the day of I think Nirjala Ekadashi, when devotees like to even fast from water, they were just sitting in the temple and just relaxing, resting because they didn't want to take any water, any food, and not going for book distribution or preaching. So he said, no, you take water, fruits, whatever you have to, but preaching is the essence. So that is one example. And sometimes I see devotees do a lot of austerity, and then we can see their face, they are not so energetic, their face is pale, they are not even energized, not able to perform properly sadhana. I mean, I cannot comment on it, but sometimes you can make it out when you see somebody. So those are some examples I could remember, Prabhu.
Thank you. Yeah, and just incidentally, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the same thing on the
Yes.
Jala and other
Yes.
Ekadashi. He encouraged. Most important was the preaching, and other things should be secondary. Another, there's one pastime where devotee was going around Govardhan Hill with his bare feet and getting some pain, and Prabhupada said, well, you put shoes on. It's okay. Although generally people like to go around Govardhan Hill without shoes, and as a respect to the Govardhan parikrama. Anyway, like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. That was a beautiful reminder that reminds me of His Holiness B.B. Govind Swami Maharaj, who shared, I forgot whether it was Govardhan Parikrama or Vrindavan Parikrama. So once he and other devotees were doing that parikrama with Srila Prabhupada, and Maharaj, B.B. Govind Maharaj thought of, that I will do barefoot because he saw some other people doing that barefooted. So then Prabhupada saw it and he said, and he was not comfortable, he was having a lot of discomfort, B.B. Govind Maharaj. So Prabhupada said, why you don't have any shoes? He said, Prabhupada, I thought it will be more austere to do it like that. So Prabhupada said, don't ever cross your Guru, because Prabhupada had the shoes on. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Interesting. Very interesting. Hare Krishna. Yeah, sometimes there are different moods that, I was just still thinking about the question that was brought up by Vishnu at the beginning, Uddhava's feelings. Uddhava in one sense is a friend too. It's a servant, but sometimes he acts in a French, if I have my understanding correct, in a friendship mood. Mostly servant, there's no question. Mostly servant, that's Uddhava. But as you were talking about that, I was also thinking, you brought up Arjuna, Krishna driving the chariot for Arjuna, so that Krishna is, in a sense, taking that lower position just to serve his devotee and friend. Arjuna was a friend. But remember, in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when the universal form was requested by Arjuna, and Krishna showed the universal form, then Arjuna changed his mind totally. Now he was being very reverential to Arjuna, to Krishna. So basically the point I'm making is that sometimes there are mood changes. From friend, now he says, oh my goodness, you are that high, you're that wonderful, and I'm just taking you for granted in many ways. And he starts apologizing, all of that. So devotees' moods can change also from what they had before to, for good reason, a pastime of Krishna can change their mood too. That also happens. Just wanted to throw that in. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Any other questions? Hare Krishna, please go ahead.
And that point you made, Your Krishna Prabhu, about Arjuna putting his foot on Krishna's shoulder to direct. I know that people say that but I've never read that in Srila Prabhupada's books. And, if you look on the pictures of Krishna and Arjuna on the chariot, you find reins in Arjuna's hand. Is that?
You mean Krishna's hand?
No. Yeah, Krishna's hand. Sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway, it might be true, but I'm not sure that that's from a bona fide source. It might be, but if you have any source that you could tell that.
Yeah,
you're right, Prabhu. You're right. I mean, I've not heard it from Srila Prabhupada or read from Srila Prabhupada. But I have heard that's how the kings used to guide their charioteers, where to go. So, but you're right. We have not heard it from Srila Prabhupada. At least
you'll see Krishna and Arjuna is there. Yeah, but how? It might be, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. But Arjuna's a friend of Krishna, so my own mind is saying, how in the world would Arjuna put it? Arjuna, such a dear friend, put his only because of war purposes, put his foot on Krishna. If anything, it's the other way around. Krishna incarnations putting their foot on the heads of those that they bless and so on. So now, that's what Vidura was saying, and we haven't seen. No artist has drawn a picture like that with Krishna. And I'm sure if that particular drawing was made with Arjuna's foot on Krishna's shoulder, there would have been a lot of protests. But people who see a picture like that, where are we going with this? A lot of people could be confused. Anyway, that's just this commentary. That's all.
No, I think that's a good point. I think we should just keep our conversation to the point where Arjuna maybe used to tell Krishna where to go, rather than speculating. Thank you, Prabhu, for that correction.
Hare Krishna. And they could even communicate telepathically. They were talking about Krishna here.
Yeah. Or Krishna just say, I'm taking you.
Why would he know? Yeah. Anyway, but still, it's just commentary I'm making.
No, that is good. Thank you so much, Mr. Prabhu, for that correction.
Hare Krishna. Any other comments from other devotees? If not, then we'd like to thank you very much for coming on today, and have a wonderful weekend. Weekend means we have a program, at least sometimes it's a Saturday program, but definitely a Sunday program. So please come to it, or go to your nearest temple, because I know not everybody here is
this Sunday, Prabhu, we have a special program, appreciation program.
What special program? Can you describe more?
Yeah, so devotees, this Sunday at our ISKCON of Harrisburg, we have a very special program where there will be appreciation for all the devotees who served in our Rath Yatra.
Okay. The Rath Yatra appreciation is today.
You can hear the glories of all the devotees.
Yeah. Okay. So please come. You definitely have to attend, because you just might call your name. Practically everybody I'm looking at on the list here did something at Rath Yatra, so come get your appreciation, and maybe most likely some token of appreciation also, not just the name only. Yeah, that should be nice. Very nice program. Thank you very much, dear devotees, and thank you for a very nice lecture.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you again. Hare Krishna.